Garbhodak ocean? What happened? Okay, so and Garbhodaksha Vishnu creates this in his body. Creates means what? He manifests himself, this Hiranya Garbha in this body. Hiranya means golden. Okay, Hiranya Garbha. Garbha means it is formed inside the body of Garbhodaksha Vishnu. And if you study Brahma Samhita, it is first created by Mahavishnu from its right limb. Okay, so this creation, and he creates a lotus. And this lotus is also called Hiranyagarbha. The Brahmaji is there. Actually, Brahmaji comes from Hiranyagarbha. That is also in Brahma Samhita. Okay. This lotus is also called Hiranyagarbha. Okay. So this Garbhodaksha Vishnu's creation is called Vikalp. Okay. Okay. And then Brahmaji creates, his creation is called Kalp. And every day of Brahma is one Kalp. Okay. 1 day and 1 night. That's for 24 hours. 1 day of Brahma is 12 hours. Okay. So this is called Kalp. So now we begin with Mahakalp. Mahavishnu lies with Rama Devi. She is Lakshmi, Rama, on causal ocean. See, creation is happening everything at once. Like he breathes out, universe is coming. He breathes in, universe is going. But Brahma Samhita explains it what is happening sequentially within that, breathing and breathing out. Okay. So like we switch on the tube light, we switch on the button, the current goes, it hits this plug, then when it hits that, then it starts. This sequence is there. But as soon as we switch on the button, the tube light is automatically start. So like this it is. There is sequence is also there. Okay. Now somebody may say, why we need to study this creation? If you know this creation, why? Because every Puran, every Upanishad begins with this creation. Even if you take Ayurveda also, it begins with creation. Any Puran you see, it's begin with creation. Why it is begin? Because it is coming from the Lord. Everything and everything should be used in his service. And everything should be seen in connection with him. That is the purpose. Because unless and until you know that object thoroughly, how it is made, what it is composed of, then only you can deal with it properly. If you don't know, then you'll deal according to your own standpoint, or according to your own perception, or according to your own consciousness. Clear? So this Mahavishnu, what he does, if you read the Brahma Samhita text 7, he glances at Rama Devi. He's performing the pastime. He glances at Rama Devi, but he does not directly interact with Durga Devi. So his glance at Rama Devi, yes, bro. Yeah, very good question. He's asking the question that glance on Rama Devi and glance on Pradhan is the same. Okay. So glance on Rama Devi is not a Pradhan. When Rama Devi gives that glance to Durga, that is glance on Pradhan. So Mahavishnu is already lying with Pradhan. Is Pradhan means what? The energies are not manifested. It is there, but it is not manifested or not visible. So it's like good as Durga is sleeping. This Bhagavatam third canto will also come that Durga has been awakened. So how she's been awakened? Because Lord and his internal energy are not different. Any functions Lord does is does through his internal potency. So internal potency does all the activity. So Rama takes the glance and give it to Durga. It is happening so fast. So that glance is Shambhu. So when Shambhu unites with Durga, Pradhan changes into Mahatattva. But actually, if you take Mahavishnu is glancing directly at Pradhan. It's that Prabhupada writes, no? Mahavishnu glances at material nature. But how he glances? In via medium through Rama Devi. If you read Brahma Samhita, you put text 7. Can somebody read loudly? See, it is written. Exactly. Yes, sleeping Durga is Pradhan. So she get manifested. Because the creation is starting, which previous creation has been wound up. That is again, it is beginning. Read this translation. Somebody see.
Krishna never concerned with his illusory energy Still, her connection is not entirely cut off from the absolute truth. When he intends to create the material world, amorous pastime in which he engages by consulting with his own spiritual chit potency, Rama, by casting his glance at the deluding energy in the shape of sending his time energy, is an auxiliary activity.
Auxiliary means through someone or indirect. Like, see, Krishna means never, still her connection is not entirely cut off from absolute truth. He does not directly interact because Lord will always interact with spiritual potency. But her connection is there. How? When he means Mahavishnu intends to create the material world, the amorous pastime. Mahavishnu is performing the pastime with Rama. That is amorous pastime, in which he engages by consulting with his own chit potency Rama. How he engages? By casting his glance at the deluding energy. So he engaging in pastime. See, therefore the creation, everything is happening has a basis called spiritual activity. Unless and until the spiritual energy is there, the creation cannot work. So all these things is there based on Rama Devi. So Rama takes the glass and give it to Durga. The next verse it will come. And then Durga is activated. And how these things are there? So because Mahavishnu is the ultimate cause, Rama is the formal cause. Because all this activity are, there is underlying principle, there is something spiritual is behind it. Otherwise it will not come only. Okay. Okay, read text number 8, Brahma Samhita. See the second, read. Okay, I'll read.
The secondary process of association with Maya is described. Rama Devi, the spiritual chit potency, beloved consort of the Supreme Lord, is the regulatrix of all entities. The divine plenary portion of Krishna creates the mundane world. At creation, there appears a divine halo of the nature of his own subjective portion, Swamsa. This halo is divine Sambhu, the masculine symbol or manifested emblem of the Supreme Lord. This halo is the dim twilight reflection of the Supreme Lord, reflection of the Supreme Eternal Effulgence. This masculine symbol is the subjective portion of divinity who functions as progenitor of the mundane world, subject to the supreme regulatrix Niyati.
Now, who is this supreme regulatrix? That is Rama. Understood? And why it is called, this masculine symbol is a subjective portion of divinity who functions as progenitor of. So who is this subjective portion of divinity who functions as progenitor of mundane world? So this is Shambhu. He is a subjective portion of Mahavishnu. Okay, he's a swamsha of Mahavishnu. This Shambhu, subjective portion of Mahavishnu, subject to the supreme. So this Shambhu, who is a subjective portion of Mahavishnu, is subject to the Rama Devi. She makes, as she regulates that, and Shambhu unites with Durga. So Shambhu is also called as the ingredient cause. Okay, read further.
The conceiving potency in regard to mundane creation makes her appearance out of the supreme regulatrix.
So what is a conceiving potency? Make her appearance out of supreme regulatrix. The supreme regulatrix is Rama. She comes from there. Got? Again, she comes from, because Rama understanding, she creates her shadow as Durga. Because why this shadow is being created? Because of the living entities there. They want to be separate from the Lord. So therefore Prabhupada writes in the purport, as a child wants to play something, the father gives him the artificial thing. So the Lord has to give this world which is a shadow of the spiritual world. Is it clear? Read further.
She is Maya, the limited, non-absolute, apara potency, the symbol of mundane feminine productivity. The intercourse of these two brings forth the faculty of perverted cognition, the reflection of the seed of the procreative desire of the Supreme Lord.
So there are two things here. That Shiva, Shambhu is a dim twilight of supreme eternal effulgence. So what is this eternal effulgence? It is the effulgence coming from Mahavishnu. Okay, Mahavishnu is always effulgent. The Lord is full of qualities. Okay, that is spiritual. But when living entity wants to enjoy, so he has to give him the artificial thing, so that it is covered by ignorance, that is covered by ego. So the dim twilight is the effulgence of supreme eternal effulgence. And Lord is conscious. Mahavishnu is conscious of everything. To every throughout the whole universes, many universes come. How is he conscious? He's conscious because of his effulgence. Because his effulgence is also conscious. Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj, right? It is the cognitive faculty. See, next line only. That the intercourse of this Shambhu, Mahavishnu is conscious, that is cognitive faculty. And when Shambhu interacts, that is perverted cognitive faculty. Perverted means the living entity wants to enjoy, lord it over. So whole environment becomes changes. Is it clear now? Whole atmosphere and environment became changed. I gave you example. If you are sitting in a movie, in a theater, so projector is there, projection is there, screen is there. But if unless and until there is a dark, you cannot enjoy the movie even in the daylight. Agree? So this darkness is the dim twilight. The name is there. Or perverted cognitive faculty. Cognitive means knowledge faculty. The living entity, last, darkness of ignorance. They get an impression that we are the enjoyer because of Lord Shiva. This also there in further verses in Brahma Samhita. The Lord Shiva gives this impression to the living entity that we are the enjoyer. Why? Because living entity had a desire to be separate from the Lord. Therefore, everything becomes transformed. Okay, clear now? So there are much more detail, but this is okay? Clear now? So Mahavishnu glanced at Rama. Can show the slide? So Mahavishnu glanced at Rama. What happened? And the Rama, understanding the Lord's desire, manifests herself as Durga, and then that Durga is Shambhu. And within the glance, there is a living entity, times, and ego. So living entity being presence in the present, past, present, and future. So if you speak with some person, if you speak in presence, means you are speaking in goodness, 1/11th of a second. You have to deal with somebody, you deal in presence. But while speaking, you are somewhere else. Your mind is somewhere else, or you are thinking of past or you're thinking of future. That means you are not in presence. So presence means goodness. And past means ignorance. And if you think of future means passion. So living entity is being presence there in that state, that is called goodness. And time, because it will move everything. Everything will be in the time. This time coming from Mahavishnu is the universal time. Then the time will be dilated or bifurcated, whatever, in every universe according to the dimensions. Okay. And there is Pradhan. The same Shambhu is represented at ego. So Pradhan ego is added because falsity has to be created because of ego. Ego also means identity. So ego is there. That is mode of ignorance. Is it clear now? Okay. So exactly. So three modes begins from there. So modes means what? It's a time, goodness, passion, and ignorance. So then this goodness, passion, and ignorance. So therefore, sometimes it is said, no, Lord created this universe from the three modes. As a likhta na Prabhupada. So what do you mean by three modes? How the three modes? Three modes are already in this form. They are in this form. Okay. And then Pradhan and Mahatattva state. So what is the difference between Pradhan and Mahatattva? There is no difference so much. Difference is just unmanifested elements and manifested elements. Mahatattva is the manifested element. But what is the main functions of Mahatattva? If you read the commentary of Brahma Samhita, Mahatattva is conscious. Mahatattva is conscious. And in this world, in every living individual body, Mahatattva is reflected as intellect. So intelligence, as intelligence, Mahatattva is reflected here. Prabhupada write that also. So if we can join all the statements of Prabhupada, you get a clear picture what is Mahatattva is. It is reflected here as intellect in everyone's body. So Mahatattva becomes effulgence, it becomes conscious. So Mahavishnu in all the universes are coming, he's conscious in every universe because of this So therefore it is called cognitive faculty. Cognitive means knowledge faculty, knowing faculty. This. So how somebody is conscious, like what is the effulgence? It is Lord's qualities and energies manifesting from his body. So anything happening there, like Brahman is also conscious. Brahman, Paramatma, Bhagavan. You say Brahma Jyoti, it is conscious because it is Lord himself, but it is only having no form. Is it clear? So then all the elements are manifested. How many elements? 16. 5 knowledge acquiring senses, 5 working senses, and 5 sense objects and the mind. Total 60. Okay. And they are categorized into further into goodness, passion, and ignorance. Okay. Like this, the elements is there, and it is Mahatattva is created. Complete. Okay. This is Mahatattva. Is it clear? So Mahatattva, I gave the green effect to that. You will see this. See, this is the green effect. Mahatattva. This is all within the corner of the spiritual world. Prabhupada writes in the purport also, no? The whole Brahma Jyoti spread in the spiritual sky. At the corner of the Brahma Jyoti, there is material creation. Okay? No, green effect I gave to show that Mahatattva is meant. Previously it was blue. I cannot make so much. Because Prabhu, to make this, it requires lot of hard work. First you have to collect the photo, then you have to cut it in a Photoshop for PNG, then make it. Actually, I want to make it more proper. But anyhow, so like this, it is Mahatattva. Okay. And then when Shambhu unites with Durga, their ling is formed. A ling is formed. This is also in Brahma Samhita. After this, Shambhu is uniting, the ling is formed. So why this is the very much creation. The ling is what? If you study Brahma Samhita, sometimes Mahavishnu is visible, sometimes it is not visible because it is covered by the effulgence. Prabhupada will write further in the purport to Purusha Shukta prayers. Sometimes the Lord is visible and sometimes he is covered with Naham Prakasha Sarvasya, the Yoga Maya, that is equal to Brahma Jyoti, he was saying. He said he's covered. Prabhupada writes, if you will get it. So it's covered by this effulgence. So some people say this is a ling, is a symbol. Lord Shambhu is the emblem or the symbolic, emblem, what is it? Emblem representation of the Mahavishnu. So in Ling Puran, if you study, they will say there was a ling, and from the ling Vishnu comes. For them, from that ling, Garbhadaksha Vishnu comes. So that ling is Mahavishnu only. So Mahakal is refers to Shambhu. Mahakal is also refers to Mahavishnu. Like when Krishna took Arjuna to super excellence, chapter is there in Krishna book, super excellence power of Krishna. So Krishna took Arjuna to Mahavishnu's abode. Vishwanath Chakya Thakur writes that is Mahakalpura. So that is Mahakal. So Mahakal is referred to Shambhu also and Mahavishnu also. Is it clear? So these things are also happening. Then you see there is a Jiva also. So whole environment is getting changed. But Mahavishnu and Rama, they are performing the pastime. But over that is all these things are created. So means they are the basis. Like Mahavishnu, there are 4 causes. The Western philosopher Aristotle, he also used these 4 causes, but he used within the material world. But we have these 4 causes. 2 causes we can use it in spiritual, and 2 causes for material. Like Mahavishnu is the ultimate cause, Rama is the formal cause, and Lord Shiva is the material cause, and Durga is the operational cause. So this operational and material are based on formal. If formal thing is not there, it will not come out. It's like programming. Unless it is not there, it will not come. Like we are sitting on a chair, the concept of chair is here. Why it is here? Because it is there in Hiranyagarbha, because it is there in Vaikunta. But it is not chair like this. There will be asana. So that concept is there, therefore it is here. Okay. So then Mahavishnu, what he creates? Mahatattva. It is all effulgence. And within that, he creates this Vasudev, Shankarshan, Pradyumna, Aniruddha. So this 4 quadruple. This is also there in 3rd canto Bhagavatam. So there is Adi Chatur Vyuha in Golok, Dvitiya Chatur Vyuha, and this Tritiya. This Tritiya Chatur Vyuha, when it comes in the body as mind, intelligence, consciousness, and body. Clear? So when you change your identity, so Shankarshan has knowledge of four things: identity, knowledge of identity, knowledge of field, relation to the identity, whatever identity, that much, that way your field will be there, knowledge of the process to work in the field, and knowledge of the goal to be achieved in the field. This is Shankarshan. And when you inspire to follow, now you have knowledge of everything, and you inspire to follow, put into practice personally. So then Vasudev comes into picture, that is the Lord of consciousness, because every activity we do, you do with consciousness. Then you achieve the goal, your goal is experienced within the mind. That is Lord of mind is Aniruddha. Okay, clear now? And Pradyumna is sense when you have knowledge of all those four, unless and until you are inspired, unless and until you desire to do in the work or attraction within the field you have, then only you can do it, otherwise no. Like for example, academic scholars, they have knowledge of identity, they have knowledge of field, like they study, they are student, like they are scholars, they study Bhagavad Gita, their knowledge of process also Gita is giving, the knowledge of goal also they study, they may know that Krishna is the Lord, everything, but they don't catch all these things, they are not interested, they do it for something else, so they are not attracted. So this aspect is not there. Therefore Sambandha has two aspects, Shankarshan and Pradyumna. So Shankarshan, Pradyumna, Aniruddha and Vasudev. So Vedanta Sutra has 4 chapters. First is Sambandha, third is Abhidheya, and fourth is Prayojan. So these are all related to this. And how this Shankarshan, Pradyumna, Aniruddha, Vasudev came? It came from Radha and Krishna. Krishna is the identity. You know, there is Canto 2, chapter 9, verse 33. Aham eva sameva gre, nanya sat asat param. Himself is self-satisfying. He is Krishna. Everything is his identity. And there is a field for him to, you know, there is a field. The whole creation is with his field. Spiritual world, material world. Okay. He wants to enjoy. From him, he manifests herself as himself as Radharan. So one became two. So Radharani, Krishna is identity, and Radharani is the goal. And the process will be, he'll follow the process to achieve that goal, to enjoy with Radharani. So Sambandha Abhidaya Prayojan. When the same Sambandha Abhidaya Prayojan, when it is used with intellect, then this 4 comes: Vasudev, Shankarshan, Pradyumna, Aniruddha. So when you see everything, you getting all this. This is mechanics. So this way it comes. So everything is related with Radha and Krishna. Okay, anyway. So is it clear, this thing or no? Tiger reference. Is it now? It's all in Prabhupada books, bro. Prabhupada writes, Shankarshan means identity. Prabhupada means Shankarshan, ego means identity. And there is Kshetra Gyam Chapamam Vidhi Sarva Kshetreshu. Kshetra means the field. So within the field, there is an identity. So it's all there. So link those sentences, will get. It's there. Yes, bro.
True, we also study like Hladini, Samvit and
Yes.
Sandhini. So when we study that way, then Hladini is the inspiring, Samvit is the knowledge.
Alladini is a pleasure.
Pleasure and
Samvit is the knowledge. Yes. And Sandhini is the existential.
so that is also
Here, no, that is in relation to potency. This is in relation to work or some activity. So that cannot be used here. That cannot be used here because Sandhini, Samvit, Alladini, that in relation with devotion, devotional service. Oh, sorry, in relation to spiritual world. Like for example, Madan Mohan, Govinda, and Gopinath. Madan Mohan is also attraction. You know, Govinda is what is this? Process, and Gopinath is the goal. So that can be used here. I asked this to once Bhakti Vidyapur Maharaj. They are almost same. He says no, because when he uses Madan Mohan, Govinda, and Gopinath, he uses in relation with Lord and his devotees, because Sambandha is already established with the Lord, like we are all servants of the Lord or whatever. So just attracts, it begins with attraction element. But Vasudev, Shankarshan, Pradyumna, Aniruddha is used in relation with creation. Generally, the terminology is used in relation with creation. Here, our identity has to be established. Therefore, these mechanics are used.
This Sankarshan refers to false identity,
False identity.
not
Shankarshan,
true identity.
when you, the Shankarshan refers to only identity. But when you serve Krishna, the same identity becomes true identity. But when
So
you don't
then-
serve Krishna, then it will be false identity. But
So when Shankarshan refers to true identity, it will have the similar.
exactly.
Then
Then it will changes to Madan Mohan, Govinda, and Gopinath. Yes.
okay.
Okay. So it just
So is
within
this the like the general
general,
version?
yes, general version. Exactly. General version.
So in this, when we say false identity, like say someone thinks he is a man, so that's a false identity. So that refers to the Sankarshan component.
We call it component of Shankarshan because the falsity is coming, the impression of this falsity is because of Lord Shiva. And Lord Shiva is always worshipping Shankarshan. And you get, so because they are both are representative of false ego. So therefore we say. But it is in general. But for a devotee, it starts with Madan Mohan, Govinda, and Gopinath. Like this. Why? You may say, iski kya zarurat hai? Why you worry about this terminology and all? But it looks very beautiful. I asked this. It looks so beautiful because we should know what is actually somebody is doing it. There are these mechanism is there. We say our identity, I'm this, but actually who's giving the living entity? That is these people. So he said, when you transform our identity as servant, why Prabhupada writes, one who knows Krishna Das, Ai Vishwas, Karlo or Dukkha Nai, then he perceived the whole standpoint from as a servant of Krishna. Because we don't perceive, of course, the one is called intellectually getting convinced, and one is getting realized that I'm servant of Krishna. There are two things. So at least be philosophically get convinced, and then you work on that. Then that is better than not getting convinced and staying on the bodily platform. Is it okay? Is it clear now?
One thing further was like these four personality, they are all for personalities, na?
Yes, exactly.
So they're all personalities, and like mind, Anirudh is like
Lord of mind.
Lord of
exactly.
mind. So to control the mind, we specifically worship Aniruddha.
No, we don't need to worship.
We worship Krishna. only.
There are some in purport Prabhupada writes, to control the mind, one should worship Aniruddha. Like this Prabhupada writes. But who is Lord Aniruddha? It is originally coming from these three are coming from Vasudeva only. That is Krishna.
Yeah, in CC, one place Prabhupada actually tells elaborately on this. Four.
Right. In CC.
So, yeah. So after I read that, I thought, how should I actually, when a devotional service practice? Because if we say Anirudh, I don't know Anirudh so much as Radha Krishna and Radha Vrindavan Chandra standing, but I don't personally relate to the Anirudh personality. So, like when we say Madan Mohan, we should worship first.
Right.
Till we establish
Because
our
the
Gyan.
attraction, yes.
Sambandha Gyan should be established first. So
Yes.
that doesn't come in this situation.
No, that's why I told you, no?
No, I'm asking that even Sambandha Gyan, like I don't know what does it mean to specifically worship Madan Mohan.
Yeah.
I worship Radha Krishna, Madan Mohan, Govinda,
Yeah,
Gopinath.
because that's why I told you, these coming from Radha Krishna only. So these are why these mechanics are giving in Vedic literature. When in spite of worshipping Radha Krishna, in spite of, taking prasad, chanting, still a mind get disturbed. So then these mechanics you can use. Actually, what is going on? Like if you have a mobile, you know how to work with the mobile, just give a call is receiving and whatever. But if you know the more workings of mobile, it will be for easier to you to work nicely and efficiently. So therefore, these mechanics are there. Otherwise, somebody is happy by chanting, taking prasad, that's fine. And therefore, Vedic literature is generally seen from these different mechanisms. This is one mechanics. There is another mechanics, masculine and feminine. Krishna is masculine, Radha is feminine. So masculine means identity. And Krishna will create a field where Radharani, to interact with Radharani, there should be a field. And within the field, then Krishna will reciprocate, Krishna will do something that Radharani is pleased. So the goal is Radha. So identity is I and mine comes under Radha. So I is masculine, mine is feminine. So if you see, if somebody bought a car, a masculine will see that I had bought a car, and feminine will see this is mine car. One object is used in a different way. These are all mechanics, bro. The sentence are also comes under masculine and feminine. but their viewpoint is totally, one object is viewed from different angles. So this all comes from Radha Krishna. Husband wife relationship, boy girl relationship, this come from there. So Krishna is the main person and whole creation is feminine. So that way also, it's a main thing is Vedic literature is viewed from these angles. We have enough angles to see. It's not like this only. Aisa bada to aise hota, aisa nahi. So it is where, so if you have variety, so you can apply it in a different way. If you want to learn in this pattern, that is also there. If you don't want to learn. So this is, I teach, I learned this is the way from the creation perspective. Because see, I had made see, this is a gadget I had made. Okay, everyone is looking at this gadget. You have never seen this. And everyone is giving their own perspective. But whose perspective will be right? The person who has created it. So how I've created, what were the things? So you will see from that angle. So this creation and all, we are also created from creator's perspective. So what the creation is coming, it is there in Mahavishnu and it is manifested here with us. So second canto is cosmic, means all these things are there in cosmic manifestation in Hiranyagarbha. But it's so wonderful, our philosophy is, even that Hiranyagarbha is having viewpoint from different angle. So Brahman, Paramatma and Bhagwan also are the different angle because it is viewed from different practitioners. So different way these things are seen. It is very new, but it is all there in Prabhupada purports. Is it clear? So then Mahavishnu manifests this for Chatur Vyuha. Okay. So there are 3 Chatur Vyuhas. First in Golok, then in Vaikuntha, from Mahanarayan, Shankarshan, from Shankarshan, Mahavishnu, all this. So this is the Tritiya Chatur Vyuha. Now ego is added to Pradhan Mahatatvakam. Then again one more ego is added. This is the actual this is the main creation of false ego. False ego is added at every elements, at every step. Anything is created, false ego. Sound, false ego. Then sound is travel to ether, ether to, there is a false ego to ether. So it is coming from subtler to gross. As ego is adding, the subtler thing becomes grosser. Add more ego is adding, it becomes more grosser. So somebody has more ego, then it becomes an animal. So ego, then he can see everything through smell. Because last creation of ego is the earth. So animals always find everything through smell. Okay. So these things are there. So this is ego is added. Just see. Then ego will add to living entities as goodness, mind and sense devata. Ego in goodness, jnana shakti. So what is this jnana shakti? Because mind and sense devatas, to get exist and to work, there must be some potencies making them work. That is this potency of, that is jnana shakti. For every object, according to the Nyaya in the book of logic, every object to exist, there is a potency has to be there. The object cannot exist without the potency or without the quality. Any object to take a mic stand, to take this stand, there is a potency. That's why this is existing. Either the potency of existence or the potency of, because potencies and qualities goes with the object together. Okay. Clear? This is in the Nyaya book. Any object to take. You take a wall, you take a floor. Floor is because there is some potency. So therefore, for the mind and sense devatas to exist and make, they must be in some potency, that is jnana shakti. Then goodness, ego in passion, that is kriya shakti. So all this, what is created? Intelligence, life force and 10 senses. And because behind them, there is some big potency of the Lord is called kriya shakti. And it is manifested due to ego, and ego is added to each and every element. Mind and sense devatas, and then dravya shakti, elements and their attributes. Now these whole thing will be there within this creation also, and within our body also. So we also have, our body also has mind and the sense devatas, right? And this is working. This is actually, they are controlling. If I'm picking up this, the devata of the hand is making it move. Soul is not moving. Only Paramatma is sanctioning, therefore the devata of the hand. So when the devata takes precedence and when the internal energy takes precedence, depend upon for what purpose we are picking up the thing. If we are picking up to please Krishna to do his kirtan, then internal energy takes precedence. But if you are taking this, picking up this kartal for not to please Krishna, but to, our sense gratification, then the devatas and all takes care. Because it is everywhere, even in astrology, in Griha Sutras, it is explained that all the planets are Krishna only. But one who takes shelter of Krishna, Krishna personally takes the charge. And one who does not want to take Krishna, then does not want Krishna, then this planetary influence affect that person. Sometimes those who are devotee, even in their planetary chart, something written, it does not affect that devotee because they are directly under Krishna. You have seen, no? In Chopati, there is one devotee. I don't know his name, but he goes and shows to the astrologer his chart. But then astrologer sees, he says that, this person is dead already. He said, no, it's me. He said, not possible. In your chart, you are dead. He said, how it is? Because he was doing bhakti. Krishna gave. During that time, he met with an accident, but he did not die. Krishna gave him chance. And moreover, in further Bhagavatam canto also is written, even the time does not influence a devotee. If he is Krishna conscious, time does not have his effect. There is translation. Okay, so these things affect because we don't take shelter of Krishna, or we are averse to Krishna consciousness. So therefore, Prabhupada always says, if you are conscious of Krishna, everything becomes changed. Conscious of Krishna means you should think of Krishna. By hook, there is one quotation of Prabhupada, no? That this material world is hard existence. You try to carve out Krishna, somehow or the other, you try to carve out Krishna out of it. So whole this creation purpose is how we can see Krishna within this creation also. The site said, always remember Krishna, chanting directly, serving Krishna, but never forget Krishna when you're going traveling outside. How you can never forget? These are all actually, it is Krishna's qualities and energies. Okay. This thing is clear. Any question? Okay. So this is creating in wholesale. So this goodness, mind and controlling deities, passion, this 10 senses. And ignorance, elements and their attributes. Okay. Okay. I'm sorry. See element, sorry, where it is? Elements and the attributes. So this is also clear now. Sound is the quality of ether, sky. So first is sound is created. So everything begins with sound. So first is sound is created. To make sound travel, there is an ether. This is not the ether concept of modern. This is Vedic ether. Modern space is different. Ether means accommodating space through which something is traveled. Okay. So this is, and they have sound. So sound and then touch. So touch and then subtle quality of air. So how this is happening? By the glance of Lord, time and material energy. Okay. Material energy means what? Material energy means falsity. Ego is added. Okay. No. Sound is transforming into sky by what? Because of the glance of the Lord, the time element, as well as the material energy. It is written. Thereafter, the creation of the sky, the personality of Godhead glanced over the sky, partly mixed with eternal time and external energy, and thus developed the touch sensation. So Lord's glance is required. Time is also acting at every point, and even ego is been added. Narsimha Puran explained, to every creation, ego added. Small. So from the subtle, it is coming gross, subtle, gross, like this. Okay, gross means like not years, which we in Mahavishnu time, that is also subtler than this. He is creating as a wholesale. Then more subtler, grosser of that Mahavishnu, which will be the subtler of us, which will be created by Garbhodaksha Vishnu. And grosser of that is again very subtler to us. This is too much gross. It's not like the earpiece is there during Mahavishnu. The concept of ear, its form in the subtle energy form, it is there. Clear now? आपको लगता होगा कि it's a sound ऐसे कि sound आ रहा है. So this is in a very, very subtle state. Because Mahavishnu's creation is subtle. Then it's more grosser is Garbhodaksha Vishnu. Okay? Yes, bro.
What is eternal time?
Eternal time, there is no, generally people say in spiritual world, time is conspicuous by its absence. The time is not destruction. There is also day, night is there, but I have no idea about eternal time. Thus they say time is conspicuous by its absence. Time begins from Mahavishnu. This time is material time, which is destructive.
So eternal, how it means? Eternal means
Eternal means it is already there with the Lord in the form of Sudarshan Chakra. It does not get destroyed. Time itself does not get destroyed like this. In that sense, it is eternal. Okay. So this life force and the senses, because life force make the 10 senses move. Or 10 senses, it is moved by life force. There are life force, there are 10 kinds of air which moves the hand, legs, the blinking of an eye, evacuation, all this thing. So any problem, disease problem is due to the air circulation is not there in the body. And if air circulation is good, the mental strength, bodily strength, you see, sometimes the mind is disturbed, the stomach is not cleared. If the stomach is cleared, how you feel? Because the air circulation within the ball, it goes to the mind. So mind get controlled by the air circulation of this. It also have effect on the mind. So therefore it is in Virat Rupa, it will come the mental, if prana gives the mental strength, bodily strength and vitality, energy. Clear? These things. And then Mahavishnu creates this controlling deities, mode of goodness, all these controlling deities. So what Mahavishnu did? Creation of Mahatattva, false ego in goodness, false ego in passion, false ego in ignorance. 5 things. Got? Any questions till now?
Sense of devtas, no? Controlling
Yes,
deities.
bro.
So they are
Controlling
even
deities.
more like they are more primary than all these Indra, Chandra, Vayu and all.
Exactly, more primary.
Sense
Yes.
devtas exist much before.
Yes.
Before any creation has happened in terms
Yes,
of these
exactly, bro.
Brahmandas.
Exactly. These are the main Prakrita Devatas.
So they remain universal across all the universes.
Pardon?
They remain same people across all the universes.
Yes, bro. Because they are prototype which enter into each and every universe. See, what is the difference in other universe and this? Only I got one statement when I was teaching cosmology. Jiva Goswami says that the structure of this universe, like Meru is there, Jambu Dweep is there. Other universe has similar structure, but their dimensions differ. So how they differ, that is not written, because this universe Brahma is 4-headed. So their dimensions like 4 billion. 4 dimension. Other Brahma is 15 heads, but I don't know how the dimensions are there. No mention is there. So like, and this according to Brahma Samhita, these prototype demigods, Jiva Goswami in his commentary he says their prototype means not these themselves which is created. Their prototype will enter into each universe, and they are on the Hiranyagarbha's body, like some are on the hand, Virat Rupa's body, some are on the eyes, but still Virat Rupa is not moving. All the demigods are situated. Ashwini Kumar on the nose. But unless and until then, Shridaksha Vishnu goes and then he makes the Virat Rupa move. And then Brahma from that Virat Rupa, even Brahmaji is getting created. Before Brahma was not there. The Virat Rupa is lotus. So creation already there within the lotus. When Brahma manifests from Hiranyagarbha. This is also in Brahma Samhita. And then Brahma does tapasya, then this thing is Brahma identified with that lotus, that becomes a subtle body. This is in Bhagavad Sandarbha commented by Jiva Goswami, and it is commented by Gopi Parandhan Prabhu. This is unpublished manuscript. So it is there, he writes, I can show you. So there it is. Okay. It is not yet published, but somebody gave it to me. So there Gopi Parandhan Prabhu writes that Brahma identifies with Hiranyagarbha in a subtle state, subtle form. So it becomes a subtle body. And from that subtle, the gross Virat Rupa is formed. So when you say Virat Rupa is hair and all, because it is there in Hiranyagarbha. So why it is there? The seeing the hair, what is Virat Rupa? What is Virat Rupa? It's qualities and energies of Krishna. So all these trees and all, everything we see, these are qualities and energies of Krishna. So you can remember this and remember Krishna. Is nothing, as we say, like you have a shirt here, so kurta is here. If I kick the kurta, then they'll complain my name to Radhesham Prabhu. See this Prabhuji's behavior, Radhesham Prabhu is always merciful, he's very kind, but this thing he'll not tolerate. He will say, what kind of this, But if I keep a kurta nicely, pranam, then if you tell Radhesham Prabhu, more happy. That how you respect that person by his respecting his things. You respect Radhesham Prabhu, you respect his voice, you respect his temple, you respect his devotees. Then as good as you respect him, because all these things are his energies. So similarly, you respect the creation, you respect the Supreme Lord. That is the whole purpose of second canto. Otherwise, why it is given? Is it clear? So this sense devatas, okay, controlling deities. These are the controlling deities. What? What is that question?
Question: if every universe has different Brahma, then how is that same prototype of the demigods enter different universes? Is Brahma also a prototype?
Yeah, Brahma also prototype. It will come Brahma also prototype. Exactly. So all this is all there in Brahma Samhita. All this Brahma prototype Brahma goes, prototype Shiva goes, all this. Prototype Brahma is which? Hiranyagarbha. So but from Hiranyagarbha, the dimensions differ. So in this universe, 4-headed come. In that universe, from same Hiranyagarbha, 15-headed comes. Because this is like a software program. Because it is worked by Shirodakshai Vishnu. So he can change their dimensions. That is mentioned in Brahma Samhita that in each and every universe, these prototype demigods enter. So now each and every universe, huh?
All demigods are prototypes only. Yeah?
Prototypes. They are
Nothing is
prototypes.
generated in local domain.
Local only when 400 Brahma from his eyebrows, Rudra comes. He creates that demigods.
Yeah, but Rudra
Within the-
also you said na, that person also comes from.
So that's prototype also come. Then their prototype comes out from some other medium.
No, means all 33 crore Devi Devatas are from original prototype demigods.
I
Only.
don't know about 33 crore. I never 33 categories. So if those demigods, which are Brahmaji from his eyebrows, Lord Shiva, he creates that demigods which are staying in this 14 planetary system. Those demigods, like in Indralok, there are some demigods, so they are there. So this universe having its what do you say? We can say prototype in the Hiranyagarbha. They are having the prototype outside the universe, like this. Okay, so all this demo it's all there. Is it clear? So like we have a universe, we have a body. In our body there are many souls, small like bacteria and all this. These are souls are there, but there are two souls, our soul and super soul. Similarly, this universe is the body of Brahma. So Brahma is the soul, and there is a super soul is Shirodakshai Vishnu, and Brahma's subtle body is Hiranyagarbha, and the gross body is this. So Brahma comes to know what is happening in his creation, because he identifies. We also identify with the body if we know, but we don't know so much inside, but what is happening. But if you hit something is going on our toe, we come to know, na? We are conscious of it, but soul is here at one place. So how we are conscious? So like this Brahma is conscious. And how we are conscious with the body, how the soul is staying in the body and how it is moving based on his desire. But Jiva Goswami gives a very nice example in his Bhagavad Sandarbha. So it's in a commentary, I think so. But he gives an example of a magnet. A magnet moves the iron filings. So similarly, the soul moves the body. But actually, it is moved by the other factor is also there. Demigods are there. Clear now?
Like there are many microbes in our body. We are all microbes in Brahma's body.
Exactly. Very good. Exactly. So you got this understanding. Very good.
And that Garbhodaksha Vishnu is not the super soul. Huh?
He is a super soul of one universe.
So that is the universe we are talking, na Brahma.
No, but with the Garbhodaksha Vishnu is outside. Outside means outside this 14 planetary system. But this 14 planetary system is moving because of a super soul who is Shirodakshai Vishnu.
Okay. So Shirodakshai Vishnu. So when we say Brahmanda, see, Garbhodaksha Vishnu has entered the Brahmanda, na? No, bro, they will not do.
This is the Brahmanda, right? Very good. So this is Brahman, no? Yes. So this, for example, is Garbhodaksha Vishnu. Okay. Clear now? Okay. This is the layers of the Brahmand. Okay. But this is the lotus, no? This is the lotus. Okay. But this lotus is a Hiranyagarbha. So this Hiranyagarbha is the body of Brahma, subtle body. And there is a gross part of it also. There is a gross, this is the gross part of it. This is the subtle part of it. Okay. and the Brahma is the soul. This is the Brahma as a soul of universe, as a soul. And Shiradaksha Vishnu goes. Shiradaksha Vishnu goes as a super soul. So this is this universe, but this is throughout the layer. So therefore, but this Garbhodaksha Vishnu goes and then the tortoise comes. This is his outside. He is the super soul of this complete. But when he was there, it was not moving. Only Shiradaksha Vishnu makes these things move. He is just giving attraction. Garbhodaksha Vishnu, what he does, he assembles the universe. So he gives attraction and assemble the universe, bus, and make universe move is Shiradaksha Vishnu. So therefore, Brahmand Andam is this. This is the covering. The inner one is the Brahmand egg has a shell. So shell inside. So you can just egg. We can say which shell, no? If you remove the shell, then so this Anda is the shell. Within the shell, the people are staying. This is the universe within the shell. No, but their functions are different. No? It doesn't make sense. See, Garbhodaksha Vishnu is there. This Hiranyagarbha was created. Okay. Entire Brahmand means what, bro? Brahmand means not the earth layer. Brahmanda means this 14 planetary system which is in the lotus, and Garbhodaksha Vishnu is beyond the lotus. Okay, but he is a super soul of this Brahman, but super soul means his functions. These three Vishnu's functions are little different, though they are super soul. Okay, Shiradaksha Vishnu, I am talking about this universe, which is the body of Brahma, but he's outside the universe, no? This Virat Roop as a gross, and subtle will be this dot 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 I put, this will be the Hiranyagarbha. Okay, and then from Hiranyagarbha actually the four-headed Brahma comes and he identifies. Therefore, Brahma is also called as Hiranyagarbha. Therefore, Brahma is also called the Hiranyagarbha. Brahma is the soul of the universe. Means soul in the sense Lord is the main soul, but like you are understanding, no, like we also have, it's the same like this here. But only this Garbhodaksha Vishnu is outside means he is the basis of all those universe. He's not inside the universe. Universe means this inner part. I'm not talking about this Brahmand. Universe is means this inner part. And the second canto is just talks about this Virat Roop. That is called, it is called cosmic creation. The whole cosmic which we are staying, it is created in this Hiranyagarbha. Therefore, that is second canto. Now, Virat Roop has tongue, tongue. So this is subtle, but there is a gross tongue also. And because it has subtle and gross, a living entity also has subtle and gross tongue. Because it is there, tongue is there, but there is a subtle also, our senses are there, like this.
The Purushakta is referred to Lord Shiva. And we say that the Purushakta is referred to Virat Purusha, which is actually manifestation of Garbhodaksha Vishnu, the Hiranyagarbha. Because in the whole description, there's no description of Shiva coming here. So how they got this idea of Shiva, is this Purushakta getting?
No idea, bro. I know. So I don't know how they got. So I cannot speculate. I have no idea where they got. Because but only thing in Shiva Puran I read, this subtle linga, it is in the Mahavishnu creation. When Mahavishnu does, the whole thing a ling is formed. That is its very effulgence. So they call it as this. That effulgence is coming here. So they call it as Shiva. But actually it is Shiva unites with Durga, then effulgence is coming. It's in Brahma Samhita, you can read the text. When Shiva unites with Durga, okay, the ling is formed there. Linga, a very shining, bright ling. And that is also referred to Jiva Goswami says to Mahavishnu if you read that commentary. It shines, Mahavishnu, and then from that linga, Vishnu is formed. Then Garbhodaksha Vishnu comes. But actually from Mahavishnu, Garbhodaksha Vishnu comes. So then Shiva Puran states this. So they might, I don't know, I'm first time I'm hearing, they might take this as universal form, which is coming in every universe. Lord Shiva. So they take from, like in Devi Puran, they say Devi is the source of all creation. So then you saw Durga is a creator, maintenance, and destruction of this universe. But how she create, how she maintain? By the help of the Lord. Those aspects are not, they don't know. So in what way you see the creation, what angle you see, that you bring out. So they see from this perspective, they get that. But if you study Bhagavatam, like Jiva Goswami, now Kanai Krishna Prabhu is going to take now Shri Tattva Sandarbha. How many of you read at least once that book? No, it is very good book. First, Anuched 1 to 28 talks about epistemology. That how Bhagavad is the best Puran. But he gives so many references that how Bhagavad Puran is the main Puran compared to Devi Bhagavad and other Bhagavad and everything. And next, Anuched 29 to 63, he talks about the topics of Bhagavatam and he defeats Mayavad philosophy. So all these things are there. But not these things, some little bit is there. So it is very nice book. So they talk about when they come to know Bhagavad Puran is the best, then the whole creation in Bhagavad Puran is mentioned. So if you study now, if you know this creation, open now any Purana, then you see the creation, how it starts, then you can relate which aspect of creation they are mentioned. Either they are mentioning this Linga aspect, or either they make some say that everything created from Brahmaji. They'll say Hiranyagarbha Brahma, but this is this Brahma, Hiranyagarbha Brahma. Okay, clear now?
Proji, the Shirodakshaya Vishnu is coming from
Garbhadaksha Vishnu.
Garbhadaksha Vishnu, not from Mahavishnu separately.
Both are coming from same.
So this yesterday you told that there is one more Brahma who's in Mount Meru called Vairaja Brahma.
So that when the sacrifice, he's the enjoyer of sacrifices.
Yeah,
This,
so
that Chaturmukha Brahma, see, from Hiranyagarbha Brahma, Chaturmukh Brahma comes.
yeah.
From Chaturmukh Brahma, Vairaj Brahma comes.
So this pastime which we hear in which Brahma is getting bewildered. So that Brahma is which Brahma?
Which pastime the Brahma getting bewildered? That is Chaturmukh Brahma. Forehead. This Vairaj Brahma only he just enjoys the sacrifices. It doesn't do anything. He enjoys. It's a picnic. वो सिर्फ enjoy करता रहता है. Four-headed Brahma, he disseminates the Vedas and this Hiranyagarbha, he does the creation. Is it clear? Clear. So which one? All the three Brahma Lokas. Yes, and yes, Chaturmukh Brahma, exactly. Hiranyagarbha Brahma is the lotus. It's a subtle body of Chaturmukh. Hiranyagarbha Brahma is a subtle body of Chaturmukh.
He's same person only, no?
No, bro, he identifies because he comes from that. So how can be same? He is born from that Hiranyagarbha. Because in controlling deities, there is a Brahmaji is also there.
No, you just said that Hiranyagarbha Brahma is the subtle body of the four Mukha Brahma.
See, Hiranyagarbha Brahma is created by, okay, when it becomes subtle body, Hiranyagarbha, when he comes, lotus is also called as Hiranyagarbha. Okay. So when the Hiranyagarbha is manifested, the blueprint of the universe, so Brahmaji is telling Narada Muni, the creation is already done by the Lord. I just create after he creates. So already is there, but how from this Hiranyagarbha Brahma, the Chaturmukh Brahma is born, means Brahma is born from that lotus. And within that lotus is Hiranyagarbha. So Brahmaji come afterwards from that Hiranyagarbha. First is lotus, no? Then Brahma comes, no? Exactly. So then, but Brahma, for Brahma, he identifies with that. After that becomes a subtle body. But from Garbhadaksha Vishnu, that's a blueprint. So it is there within the lotus, in the subtle body, Brahmaji's. Like we have a subtle body, no? So that's Brahmaji's subtle body, complete. So when already there in his subtle body, so you want to produce in the gross body. He thinks of lotus. You see Brahmaji's creation, the photo is there, no? Everything is getting come out from here and here. So because it's there in a subtle body, it comes out as a gross body. Okay? This is it clear now? I can't go. So any questions till now? So we'll move further. Yes.
Guruji, I remember reading in the third canto, like a golden, shining, effulgent egg is coming out from the navel.
Egg, lotus.
Not lotus, some like golden, shining,
Nah, so
egg-like structure.
Hiranyamaya, golden Hiranyamaya.
हाँ,
So that is not this, that is Hiranyagarbha only.
Hiranyagarbha only.
Hiranyamaya, it is said. It's very shining. It is
Very
shining.
shining coming from the navel.
Exactly, from
That
the
is
navel.
subtle body of Brahma.
Exactly, that is it.
And
Don't
that
say subtle body of Brahma, say that's Hiranyagarbha.
Hiranyagarbha.
That's the aggregate of jivas, because jivas are energy. It's
Ah.
all golden. So everything is there
So
within.
that is Hiranyagarbha. And that Hiranyagarbha transform into the lotus.
We can say Hiranyagarbha means lotus and Hiran. See, lotus, within that there is a very in a subtle form. That is, first is okay, take lotus and Hiranyagarbha is same only, but only thing first is the lotus, then actually it is inside the lotus. If you read fifth canto, in that translation, one of the within the lotus, Brahmaji, the creation is already there in the seed form. There is a translation like this. I'll open it. And then what Brahmaji does, he divides the lotus into 3 and then into 14. So means it's within the lotus only. It's very subtle. It along, just take it along with lotus. Then you'll get an idea.
Hiranyagarbha and the lotus simultaneously.
Yeah, simultaneously.
Only
Exactly.
it's in the subtle form.
Subtle form. Yes.
And then Brahmaji, when he comes, he divides it.
When he
three,
identifies,
and then-
first he comes from Hiranyagarbha only, lotus. And then what he does tapasya. Then he gets the revealed who is he. Then within the lotus, he divides the lotus into 14 planetary system. Is it clear?
So the Hiranyagarbha is the subtle one, and then four Mukha Brahma actually makes the gross 14 planetary system.
Four Mukha Brahma.
Makes the gross.
Exactly. What does Brahma, if you give a child a coloring book, if you give a child a coloring book, so what the baby does, it takes a crayon and he colors, but the diagram is already made. So Brahmaji already gets the diagram of the universe. He takes the elements and he fills it. Abhi samajh gaya? वैसा है. So इसलिए therefore he is called as an engineer, no? The engineer, what he does, if he wants to make a building, he gets the map. With the map only he makes. Then the ingredients, dravya and all he gets, and he makes it. So already it is created. Why it is print? It is not blueprint for Brahma. It is blueprint for Garbhodaksha Vishnu. For Brahmaji, it is very subtle creation. Because Garbhodaksha Vishnu is in higher dimension than Brahma. Therefore, he is in the lower, so he has to give something which is according to his. Lord want to empower Brahma to create something, but from the Lord's perspective, it is something different. Is it clear, bro? Okay, we go
Bro,
further.
in this 34th verse, purport, 5th chapter.
That is
34th verse, purport. In this, Prabhupada is writing, as described above.
34 verse. Purport of 34 verse. Okay. Purport of 34 verse. What happened, bro?
So here he is writing, so as described above, the Lord as Garbhodaksha Vishnu or Hiranyagarbha super soul enters into each and every universe and causes it to be animated.
So
Hiranyagarbha super soul is Kshirodaksha Vishnu, no?
No, bro. It is actually, see, all these three Vishnu, Prabhupada writes somewhere. I can show you the quotes here only. So, Prabhupada sometimes interchange the name. These three names are there. They are interchangeable also. Prabhupada says sometimes Garbhodaksha Vishnu, he writes Kshirodaksha Vishnu, and so Kshirodaksha Vishnu, he writes Garbhodaksha Vishnu. Okay. Because then there is a quote from Mahabharata. One who is called Aniruddha is also called Pradyumna. This is there because based on their functions, like Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagwan, they are also interchangeable. So I can show you those quotes if you want. Okay. Prabhupada writes, but actually then by the functions we can know they are the same Vishnu only, but their functions are different. Is it clear? I have to search. Otherwise, tomorrow I'll get that passage for you and I can give it. Okay, bro. I know. So therefore I marked it also there in my So describe the Garbhodaksha Vishnu or Hiranyagarbha super soul enters into each and every universe. But how he enters? He enters by his own expansion. Okay, clear now? And causes it to be animated. Online question.
Hare Krishna. Vasudev Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, bro.
So, generally, we have understanding that like soul, and then upper layer is subtle body, and then the further layer is gross body. And it appears here that it is opposite. It seems because lotus means like we are telling Hiranyagarbha, which is subtle body, and creation is there within the stem. So that is referred to as gross body, right? And Brahma is outside with soul.
What he's saying? What is
Means,
saying? I just heard that is the gross body. Yes, that I heard.
It seems like here it's like opposite. There is a
it's-
subtle body within with the Virat roop, and then the Brahma is
Exactly.
separately
Yes, yes.
outside
Yes.
on the lotus.
Yes, exactly. It is like this.
So it is not
This
corresponding to our.
nowhere it is written like this. I gave you got this understanding that similar type of pattern like we have, we have. So like this, Brahmaji also has. But for but Brahmaji, that soul he's created is little changes there. He comes from Hiranyagarbha. That's the main thing. This is a little opposite is there. That is there, it's there. So I don't know how, why. So it is there.
Okay.
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 Clear now? It is there. In the beginning, it is created from Hiranyagarbha. So he is the main creative principle. So, but the understanding, the point was that how that's we have this, like in Patanjali Sutras, it is said, Andam Pindam Swarupascha. What is inside, it's outside. What is outside is everywhere. Like macrocosm, mesocosm, and microcosm. So Mahavishnu's creation is macrocosm, Garbhodaksha is mesocosm, and our is microcosm. Same thing is there. Concepts are same. Okay. So it is there like this. So yes, bro. But still the Brahmaji is a living entity, no? Before the Hiranyagarbha, there is Garbhodaksha Vishnu. So this, it is coming, it is there inside only the Hiranyagarbha, the Brahmaji. Therefore it is manifesting outside. Right?
Really, like what we used to think is because we know that the size of the soul is 1/10,000 of the tip of the hair, and Brahmaji is the post. So we used to think that 1/10,000 tip of the hair is entered in a body of 400
No,
Brahma, and we are
it's a-
saying Brahma is only soul
No, I'm just saying a soul in the sense
of
of
the universe.
what we relate with our body. In that sense, he acts, he represent like this.
Oh.
But Brahmaji has a body as an intelligence.
Hmm.
Like there is also earth in the body, but the intelligence aspect is more like this. Is it clear? Anything else? No problem. So we go further.
So,
okay?
Prabhuji, one last understanding. So Brahmaji identifying the whole universe as his body
Exactly.
is just like a man identifying with his car.
Exactly.
So when he
Exactly.
a auto hut, this means identifying the auto as a person and himself as a Mercedes.
Like how we identify with our body, no? So like similar way Brahmaji, but his identification is something special. We cannot create, he can create because the creative principle he identifies. That's Hiranyagarbha, that's subtle body, and Virat Roop is the gross body. You'll come in Purusha Shukta prayers that all these things is the Virat Roop is the gross body of Brahma, like this.
What stage?
Living entity gets
What we say that living entities were impregnated.
Mahavishnu stage.
Into what they got impregnated?
With
Hiranyagarbha.
No. The living entity is impregnated, like
They were
Rama
lying in
takes
the body of the
Mahavishnu. So they
Oh.
come out from the glance of Mahavishnu. Rama takes those living entities and give it to Lord Shiva, Shambhu, and Shambhu impregnates means sense. Shambhu give it to Durga, and this is in the accommodating chamber. So within that accommodating chamber are the elements for the living entity to have a subtle, to have a artificial body, plus the subtle body is also the intelligence mind for the living entity, plus living entity itself is also there. So within the womb, everything, like Prabhupada writes one of the third canto, that when as soon as the soul is, the semen is inside the womb, the soul is formed, no? And then all the emulsification is already created. you know, then it combining the jiva gradually like this.
So the Brahmanda, that golden eggs which were coming out of Lord Mahavishnu, that you shared, no? Golden eggs
Exactly.
coming. So that is coming out of the pores,
Hmm.
and from the glands, the jiva is also
Exactly,
coming. So
Jivatma is
two types of things come out.
Yes, two types. But
One
we
is the
say
glands way, and another is through the
exactly,
pores, and then
exactly.
finally they go
Exactly.
back
Then
into.
just finally the Garbhodaksha Vishnu take all this thing into each universe. Exactly.
Okay.
But for us to say, because universe is created, so we say Mahavishnu creates the universe. One more thing, how the living entity has a different stage. 1 minute. At Mahavishnu stage, the living entity has a causal body. The living entity has causal body. Okay. At Garbhodaksha Vishnu stage, it has a subtle body. And at Brahmaji, when gives Brahmaji, he gives gross body. For example, I'll show you. Like living entities here, like he wants to become elephant. The elephant, the living entity, the elephant is desire is in a seed form. When it comes, then the elephant comes like this. I cannot draw an elephant, but and then that is a living. That's a living entity here inside. And when it comes to Brahmaji, Brahmaji gives coloring to it, and it becomes an elephant. But it is not moving unless Shirodaksha Vishnu enters, then it starts moving. Unless Shirodaksha Vishnu enters, then only. Now see, for here the elephant is there. Okay, so Brahmaji is coloring them, the elephant is colored, no? But it is not moving. When super soul, Garbhodaksha Vishnu, Shirodaksha Vishnu goes, then the elephant starts moving. So soul is there to make their desire fulfilled. The Shirodaksha Vishnu goes. Shirodaksha Vishnu. So this is whole universe is moving like this. First prototype. No, not prototype. This is not. This is. No, I just gave an example of an elephant. You know? There are all the species like this. Yes, I just gave example of elephant. All the species, everything, trees, grass, everything like this. So therefore, this is in there in Hiranyagarbha here. Exactly, it's just working. Many living entities has this. बहुत ज़्यादा. So one he was saying no that day. So try to understand, actually it has its programming there here, therefore they can create. So their creation means the Manu and Saturupa, they create from like body, how they create. No, not like this. This I'm talking about how Brahmaji, like even man and woman unite, they create baby, but not like this, no. So already it is animated by Shirodaksha Vishnu, right? Shirodaksha Vishnu dala. No. Generally, this is also gross body because it is all there. See, try to understand. These living entities are there. Everyone has their previous desires. So they are coming out. So they come out via medium to all other sources. But already it is there. So this all then Brahmaji creates all this thing. And this animation is done because of Shirodaksha Vishnu. Now Brahmaji giving it does not mean that it is dying, like it is dead. But super soul is there, therefore Brahmaji could give them elements because of super soul. Otherwise, वो coloring कैसे होगा? वो super soul. Even Brahmaji is acting because of super soul, na? Otherwise, he would be also cannot act because main thing here, super soul enters, the whole creation of causes and effects and productions, everything is manifested. Shirodaksha Vishnu first enters this Hiranyagarbha. I showed you in the PPT. Bas. So within that subtle, Hiranyagarbha has lot of divisions. So this is the Hiranyagarbha, no? Like this whole universe, 14 planetary system, Satyalok, Janalok, Tapalok, and all other divisions. There is a tongue, there is this. So everything you perceive, there is a trees, there are everything is there in this blueprint. So these are when super soul went. So this becomes subtle body. So Brahmaji will create all the trees here, all this here, everything. Unless Shiradaksha Vishnu enter, Brahmaji cannot also create. Create means sense, engineer from his subtle body. Four-headed Brahma. So therefore, first he was the first living entity who manifest from Hiranyagarbha. No? So like he is being the first, he manifested other people, 14 planets and everything. He was the first person. Okay. हाँ
ये आपने जो ग्रॉस बॉडी ऐसा बन जाता है
ऐसे चले यार आप चैप्टर
जी लास्ट
नहीं मेरे मुझे प्रॉब्लम नहीं डोंट ब्लेम मी दैट चैप्टर इज नॉट ओवर टोटल 5 चैप्टर तो बाद में बोल देंगे कि यार देखो ये 5 चैप्टर खत्म नहीं कर पाया
जी वो
otherwise see I'll stop here I'll explain whole creation I'll open Brahma Samhita 2-3 days verse 7 to 21 we'll do it is it okay complete detail word by word I'll explain in Brahma Samhita word by word so then you ask so many questions no problem that is only my see when I came somebody told me hey I like this he told hey आर्ट क्लास में 5 चैप्टर खत्म करना मतलब करना तो फिर मैं व्हाट शुड आई डू तो मैं मेरा हालत क्या है मैं जरा सोच में पड़ गया कैसे ओके सो दिस इज नाउ सी अगेन नाउ Mahavishnu creates now everything will be in complete darkness of lording it over material nature the environment of lording over at material nature clear see Prabhupada writes after the creation of demigods all entities are covered by darkness of ignorance all even the demigods each and every living being in the material world is conditioned by the mentality of lording it over wo kahan se aaya because of this darkness of creation okay clear now so yeah so it is all happening within the creation like this okay then after this then the universe comes out as golden after everything this is created and I'll open that Brahma Samhita verse he Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Maharaj write that these universes are what do you say from infinite spiritual region they are reflected these universes are reflected some portions of that some portions now infinite some portions are reflected as universe okay so golden see the ling is there that ling is formed okay within this Mahatattva so I made it again and again to show to yes. So all this and they are and all the universes are engulfed with all this element this is called conglomeration of elements the universe become enlarged by getting engulfed with these elements but these elements are not appropriately formed in each and every universe therefore Vishnu then goes and he assembled Garbhodaksha this is Karya Shashti and how he assembled he goes with various potencies Kali yes goddess Kali वो भागवतम में आएगा third canto में Lord's entrance with goddess Kali and Kali why it is called Kali because she combines the elements even in Tantra Shastras some great person of following Tantras they always take Lord Shiva and Durga of this they have a lot of Tantra mantras for those okay clear now see elements in accommodating chamber of Maya but elements are not assembled appropriately so now they will be assembled but before assembling so Lord created also this is this Hiranyagarbha Brahma from his right limb Prajapati Hiranyagarbha Brahma so in that purport Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Maharaj write this is not the four-headed Brahma this is the creative principle of the universe this is coming in every universe and that is talking about universal form it's grosser now this is its prototype will be grosser now from subtle to gross so that comes when that subtle goes inside and then that will be subtle for the gross which is manifest in the universe that will be the subtle for the which Brahmaji gets so like this there are 6 kinds of Brahma once Adi Purush Prabhu had come to camp temple he said there are 6 Brahmas so everyone got shocked so these are the 6 Brahmas like this 6 means this is 1 its prototype will go 2 inside universe and its prototype more will be in the body of Garbhodaksha Vishnu and then its more grosser will be in the lotus, which will be subtle. So how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and Chaturmukh Brahma is 6. Okay, like this. Okay, this Vishnu and this Shambhu. And this Shambhu is a prototype of that Shambhu which is there above, which in the beginning it was created. Now, see, this is a verse which talks Mahavishnu enter with his subjective portions in the universe, each and every universe. So in each and every universe have this. Okay. Okay. Yes, exactly. So these people say, now you got, yes, exactly.
It's coming from Mahavishnu.
Mahavishnu,
So
exactly.
that's why we say Mahakal.
That's why,
everything
yes,
like
exactly,
Mahavishnu.
exactly. They say, now you got, it is there. If you, so like if you know this, you study Ling Puran, any Puran, you'll get it. You got this. Only names differ. So in every universe, see their prototype. Okay, their prototype. They don't go. Their prototype goes into universe. Even the demigods, their prototype goes into the universe. In every universe, I cannot show many universe. Limitations are there. So demigods goes into each universe. And how it goes? How it goes? Third canto, Garbhadaksha Vishnu goes with 7 principles. So 24 elements he compresses into 7 principles. And then from Garbhadaksha Vishnu, this yellow is in the body of Garbhadaksha Vishnu, right? Okay. Then the yellow is first manifested. Then Chaturmukh Brahma. From Chaturmukh Brahma, then this Lord Shiva is manifested as Rudra. And then all the demigods by Brahma is created. And Brahma will create demigods, but because it is already there in Hiranyagarbha. Their prototype demigods.
Sometimes Rudra which comes from Mahavishnu.
Yeah, so he creates, and he creates. Okay, he creates. Rudra creates, but he manifested, and he creates those demigods. It's in 4th canto. So therefore, Shiva is also called Adi Dev. Amongst the devatas, he is the first. Okay, so then he enters into each universe like this, and then this 4,000,000,001 earth 10 times each. And now Garbhadaksha Vishnu will enter with goddess Kali. And then Garbhadaksha Vishnu now entering, he's going even Shiradaksha Vishnu. So there Garbhadaksha Vishnu enters, and then he lies, and from his body Shiradaksha Vishnu enters into elements with goddess Kali, and he combines the elements like this. So whole universe becomes appropriate. नहीं वो बाहर आए थे सी यूनिवर्स के. So they enter. So how they enter? Like this. I have shown this. ये मेरा PPT थोड़ा अभी enter हुए. So अभी enter हुए मतलब पहले I showed they are entered this 3. First from the right hand side, yellow one, Hiranyagarbha. Left hand side, Vishnu. So I said their prototype enter into universe. But how they enter? They enter like this with Garbhadaksha Vishnu. Now if Garbhadaksha Vishnu will create this yellow one, no, in his body. See this, right? Which is entered already with Garbhadaksha Vishnu. They enter. Understood? तो अभी Garbhadaksha Vishnu takes that in his body, manifest in his body, and then he within the body he creates this. Actually, lotus is not. This is same. I should have made PPT that with yellow the lotus should be there. So this got confused. So first is Hiranyagarbha, and then Brahmaji comes from this. This is Virat Purush because it is based on Garbhadaksha Vishnu. Okay, and then on this Virat Purush, now demigods also entered. You saw. So these demigods are situated on the hands of the Virat Purush, eyes of the Virat Purush, nose. But still Virat Purush was not moving. उसको चलाने के लिए कुछ चाहिए ना. So then Shiradaksha Vishnu enters. So I just show this is Virat Purush. Then see Shiradaksha Vishnu enters. Then the Virat Purush started moving. Got now? And then based on this subtle, which becomes subtle body of Brahma, and Brahmaji will create. Oh, don't take this. This is by mistake. So based on this, okay, 1 minute. Oh, further it is. Based on this, Brahmaji will create this gross Virat form. This is the structure of universe, which is full of qualities and energies. But the hairs and everything, they say it's a Virat root. But this yellow one, Hiranyagarbha, it is 14 planetary system, Satyalok, Janalok, Tapalok. Okay. Plus there will be the tongue, there will be hair. It's in the subtle form. It will come as a gross as universe. Is it clear? So Purusha Shukta with 6th chapter is also referred to Mahavishnu, also referred to Garbhadaksha Vishnu, also referred to Shridaksha Vishnu. Okay? Because Purusha Shukta is all the 3 Purushas. Even Mahavishnu is also have Sahasra Shirsha Purusha. You see Brahma Samhita commentary. Even commentary on Purusha Shukta you see. Even Shridaksha Vishnu, Sarvata Pani Padam Ta Sarvato Shishiro Mukham, Bhagavad Gita chapter 13. From after explaining 13.13 about soul, after that it talks about super soul. 13.14. 13.13 talks about soul and super soul, and then 13.14 Sarvatha Pani Padam Ta. Then why Shridaksha Vishnu then? So it's all the 3. Okay. So even Purusha Shukta, there is a verse also come. Dashangulam Sahasra Shirsha Purusha Sahasraksha Sahasrapat. You know, Sabhomin Vishvato Vitvan Atyatishtat Dashangulam. Now Dashangulam, many commentators have many meaning. Dashangulam, some say 10 fingers. This Virat Roop is at the earth layer in touch. There is a 10 fingers difference. Some say that it is 10 fingers ahead up to the earth layer. And some fingers say Dasangulam also means yojanas. Yojana means also means he has unlimited measurement. So he's also referred to Mahavishnu. I can show you those commentaries. Commentary on Rig Vedic verse Purusha Shukta by Shayanas, translated by a devotee. So got? So just I'm not making it so much technical, and my only purpose is to make you go through the 2nd canto. But creation, more specific details, the Brahma Samhita, word by word detail is there. Eternal effulgence, cognitive potency, this potency, that potency. Now you understand Kriya, Dravya. So this Kriya and Dravya here we manifest in individual body and universe also. Sridhar Swami says, before getting assembled, after manifesting, the Lord created the Samasti and Vyasti Jivas as well as the Brahmandas. Before, this whole universe, like which we see is manifested, before that, Lord created Samasti and Vyasti. Samasti means complete universe, and Vyasti means individual universes also. And the Jivas. Individual universe, individual Jivas as well as the Brahmandas. It's complete by Mahavishnu and individual by each and every universe. Okay? Is it okay today? So we'll go to our text. Anybody has any question? This all reference will get in Brahma Samhita, word by word. ऐसा लिखा है, Hiranyagarbha, from Hiranyagarbha Brahma is born. Not like. So Hiranyagarbha is sometimes referred to lotus also. Yeah, you want.
So in previous slides, you explained there is ling is found when Shambhu unite with Durga. So what is, तो लिंग का भी यहाँ पर क्या महत्व है?
अच्छा, लिंग का क्या महत्व है? वो लिंग इज अ रिप्रेजेंटेटिव सिंबल. लिंग जैसे कि लिंग होता है, लिंग इज आल्सो रेफर्ड टू महाविष्णु. मैं बताया ना, जैसे उन्होंने he got this. Ling is also referred to Mahavishnu. It's just a ling. Ling refer to the generative organs. So because Shambhu unites with Durga, so Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Maharaj write कि in that aspect, like in an aspect of sexual union, even living entity does, even Lord does, but in a form of Shambhu. But if you say Lord does not do, that means in that aspect we are greater. So all this sexual principle of attraction is coming from there, masculine and feminine. From Radha Krishna, it goes to Ram Sita, it goes to Mahanarayan, Mahalakshmi, it comes to Sadashiva and Yogmaya, it comes to Mahavishnu and Rama Devi, and it goes to Shambhu and Durga. Masculine, feminine principle. But Shambhu and Durga, they unite the generative principles. Therefore, the ling, Shiva Linga is worshipped in every temple because as an emblem of source of creation. Is it clear?
So yeah,
here it is just referred to as a shining effulgent ling is there. It's a creation is started. So it's referred to Mahavishnu. Basis Mahavishnu is base. Jiva Goswami writes in the commentary. So sometimes it's referred to Mahavishnu. Here it is just nothing.
Okay.
Is it clear?
Yes, Prabhuji. So now in this particular slide, where are the living entities?
Where are the living entities?
Uh,
They are in all this incomplete.
Hiranya.
Yeah. So living entities will be is in one. So every one living entity will have a form of elephant. One living entity will have a form of horse. One living entity will have so like this. So many things are there in program. Now how they are situated is not mentioned anywhere.
So they come through
They are-
Hiranyagarbha.
They are inside Hiranyagarbha.
Okay.
All the living entity, all the trees, all the tongue, juice, tanmatras, everything within this. Tanmatras, sense object, elements. What is this? 5 elements, 5 knowledge acquiring senses, 5 for working senses. Then there are sense objects. All these are there here within this.
Sorry, Prabhuji, what
But they are divided into 3 categories:
Hmm.
Adi Devik, Adi Bhautik, and Adhyatmik. So this is in third canto that Lord divides the Virat into 3 departments, 1 into 2 into 3, like this.
Hmm.
So all this, like I said, ear is there, the potency of hearing is there, and plus the ear's sound is there. So they are categorized into Adi Devik, Adi Bhautik, Adhyatmik. So like living entity, the body is composed of these things: gross body, subtle body, and so all this composed of that. Adhyatma, Adi Deva, Adi Bhauta. So they are categorized into these departments. Is it okay?
Yes, Prabhuji. Sorry, what confusion I am getting? Living entity impregnant through Sambhu when he unite with the Durga,
Right.
but in universes it is coming through the Hiranyagarbha.
Exactly. अभी इम्प्रेग्नेंट मतलब वो दुर्गा ऐसा ये नहीं हो जाता है ऐसा नहीं है वहां लिखा था ना और एवरीथिंग सो देन दे आर ऑल फॉर्म्ड इनटू द accommodating chamber of Maya. So Mahavishnu gets, then Durga and Shambhu takes the precedence there. So it's in the this whole Mahatattva becomes accommodating chamber of Maya, like this. So then how it should be distributed?
Accommodating chamber can be referred to as the womb of
Exactly, that is the womb of Maya.
which is
ऐसा नहीं
accommodating.
कि Durga is having a belly and she's, oh my God, I'm pregnant. Not like that.
But also, like when Brahmaji is giving gross body to everybody, that means he is creating all the species.
Exactly, he's creating all
And
the
then
species.
the 4 process of birth, like Shwetaja, Andaja, Jarayuja, and that is the way
All
of
those
how they
things.
come.
That will come, exactly. Through some living entities are born through those mediums, Shwetaja, Andaja, all those mediums.
So the gross bodies are created by Brahma,
Exactly.
species, and these are the mediums through which they come
Mediums
out.
through which, exactly. So Brahma manifests them through those mediums.
So like elephant, you gave example, elephant gross body is created.
Exactly.
Now elephant will come through the embryo wala medium.
Exactly, bro. Exactly. Yes. First, because it is there in the, exactly, bro. You got this. Exactly, it is like this. Okay. Clear now? So we go further. So this is the structure of universe of cosmology. Satyalok, Janalok. This is. See, Vishnu goes and Brahmaji creates like this within the lotus. Okay, till now any question now clear? So this yellow part we can second canto talks about only this universal form. Cosmic creation. The whole cosmic is created here. That's why it is second canto. So why it's so important? Then further things are added. Okay, is it clear now everything? Otherwise to creation to do, then Brahma Samhita completely we have to do purport by purport, all those.
Where is Brahmaji in this? Is in the Satyalok in the Brahmanda or is above? The
Within Brahman.
In Brahmani, sorry, this what do you say?
Which one?
Hiranyagarbha or on the lotus he's sitting, no?
What is your
This
question? Bro?
Hiranyagarbha is within the stem of the
Stem.
and the Virat Rupa, that all thing is in the stem.
Yes.
So Brahma is residing in the Satyalok or he is residing above,
No, he's reciting in Satyalok, which is within the universal form.
which is within the stem.
The universal form extends even beyond the Satyalok.
Okay.
Because Brahmaji comes from there, no? It's in Purusha Shukta. See, I showed you this slide, no? 1 minute. Huh? This slide, you see universal form slide. See this one. So it's very big. And the Satyalok is also the head of the universal form. They see, you can see this one. See this? Oh, it's not. See this Satyalok on the top? It is within the Hiranyagarbha only. Because Brahmaji, Satyalok is the top of the head of the universal form.
The lotus leaf is there, lotus flower.
Lotus flowers. Lotus flowers. So that's the abode of Brahma. But that is within, everything is within universal form. As a like example you take, that day you are only giving like a programming, no? Coding and programming, you are telling me. Exactly, it's like this. This is my understanding. So you can study by your own. Is it clear? So you got Virat Roop now. What are the hairs? It will study Purusha Shukta. Okay, so any questions till now? I'm not so fast today, no? मुझे ऐसे बोला था किसी ने, like this, you know, with this, hey प्रभु 5 चैप्टर 8 क्लास में खत्म कर दे, बस जल्दी जल्दी खत्म है, तो ठीक है, what will I do? तो मैं क्या करूँ, एक एक चैप्टर के कितने कितने बड़े बड़े चीजें. Otherwise you are in some Brahma Samhita word by how I teach Brahma Samhita. I'll tell you. When I gave 2 classes on Brahma Samhita, I open Brahma Samhita, I read the translation, I give the section what are these, then I read the purport line wise, and then I explain 1 line, I explain 2 line, I explain 3 line. It's like if I read 2 line, then I explain, then a third line, then I explain. Otherwise, how will I teach? Each and every purport word I teach. But sometimes it is very tough, whatever, but almost 2 times it was very interesting, but very difficult to grasp those concepts unless and until after hearing you drawing it on a paper. I learned cosmology when somebody was teaching. I drew it on the paper. He was speaking of Meru is there, and I drew Meru. Then after that, I made all. This is already made by some devotee, maybe Govardhan Eco Village. I just made this animation. It's not difficult. See how to make this animation. Just 2 minutes, I'll show you. You want to see? 1 minute. It's not a big thing. I'll take just 2 minutes and I'll show you where it is. This one. Okay, I'll take this one. Okay. Okay. So you go to 1 minute. See this, you go to animation here. Okay. So there is an animation pane here. It's not coming. Animation. See animation pane and see this animation here. So many. Give them motion and all this. You make it in PNG, give them motion like this, motion paths. It takes a lot of time to do this. Because when I wanted to teach creation cosmology, because just by speaking words, people won't get. So whatever I could do it, I want to modify it, but need a lot of time. So I'm planning to make, actually when I was teaching, I was not knowing that Kanai Krishnapur is such a wonderful teacher. So because some unfortunate thing his father got, so suddenly Kostupru told me, hey, up second canto. I was telling hey, nahi, I'll not give. तो बोला देखो प्रभु आपको अपॉर्चुनिटी मिलता है तो he will say no कि आप लेते नहीं है. So I said okay, let's try. So in the beginning, whatever I learned, I tried to share. And for everything, whatever I spoke, I gave you the reference. It's there in Brahma Samhita. All. If I don't know, I say I don't. Like you asked about Shiv. First time I'm hearing that the people, Shiv Bhaktas, they tell that Shivji as a universal form. So first time I heard really, I don't know. So I just say they might be. So like this, you can do it animation. What? So you can do it. Takes time making. I'm trying to make for all Bhagavatam. I'll show you one thing I made. You know, you will laugh. 1 minute, huh? I made for. It's very interesting. I made for when I was giving second canto overview. You see this. This is okay. This is also animated. This screen. Okay, 1 minute. See, this is also animated. Huh? How this is animated? Can you see it is moving? Sukhdev Goswami and Parikshit Maharaj. His head is moving. You see, Parikshit's head is moving. and Shukdev Maharaj. So I want to make it now hand is also moving. So I'll make it all Bhagavatam. So because it's good for teaching too. So this is, see, like Radhesham Prabhu says, everything is caught. Okay? Everything is taught by caught. Prabhuji also makes PPT. So I learned from him. But I learned, like how he shows PPT. Because it is very catching. So I thought to make, so I'm just making it. Let's see. Whole rishis are also nodding their head like this. I know, people say, kya? Or otherwise, just keep on philosophy, close everything. Okay, book number 3, hymn number 4, Brahma Samhita, chapter 5, verse number 13. Kya bak kar raha hai? People will say, no. So these photos, if PPT would have not done, even if I made, I have to show some diagram. Kitna diagram निकाला मैं थक जाऊंगा. So like, अरे प्रभु जी देखो, honestly बोल रहा है, it is recording. I teach in भागवत महाविद्यालय. वो PPT दे दिया ना, people will won't join the class. Well, PPT, actually cosmology I made PPT. When I gave those cosmology PPT to some devotee, उसके बाद कोई नहीं आया. ऐसा है. वो क्योंकि PPT self explanatory है. देखो आपको दिखाता हूँ cosmology का 5th canto का, just 2 minutes. Okay. Cosmology PPT. Okay, this one. No, that is different. This is different. You see. वो क्या होता है, लोगों को रेडीमेड माल मिल जाता है ना, फिर अपना भी मार्केट चलेगा नहीं ब्रो. Sorry, I should not speak this Hindi, but see, I am also, what can I do? See, actually, this is, these are the photos from Govardhan Eco Village also. देखो ऐसे सब cosmology का ही photo. ये तो पावनेश्वर प्रभु का भी है इसमें PPT. So that PPT I into this, wait, I'll show you. Priyavrat Maharaj, see this? This is Priyavrat Maharaj. अब ये देखो ऐसा, ये देखो ऐसा. Like he created, no, he ran behind the sun. Right? So 7 oceans, 7 islands, how these 7 oceans came. So these are all, so they like this mountain, Greater Himalaya, then Golden Mountain, Mountain of You, Vaidurya Mountain. So this all made. So you see, there is a structure of universe that also have PPT. 1 minute. These are Govardhan Eco Village PPT. I was planning to make these as mountains also, but I don't have time. See this mountain, this is from snapshot. This is Govardhan Eco Village PPT. Wait, I'll show you my PPT. 1 minute. So this is 2 sec. Here it is. I made this chapter now, structure of studying the structure of universe, like this. See, actually I was this, we have a total animation for 45 minutes, but it is not rendered. See this? See, the sun is moving like this. Whole Lokalok and everything. So I gave this one PPT to somebody. So later it became very difficult. So people, it becomes very universal now. That's for the teaching. I made this. So like this is complete. So you can get an idea where is Lokalok. Sorry. Like this. Okay. So we'll come to our verse of description of Virat Roop. But time is over. Sorry. Sorry, tomorrow we'll do the description of Virat Roop. Thus, I should not get some chastisement. अरे आपने खत्म नहीं किया ये सब, तो problem आ जाएगा. Okay, clear now? So now while reading the purports, we'll just go fast reading some points. You'll see, you'll get an idea. Is it okay? Thank you. If I've spoken something, please forgive me. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Sorry. Thank you very much.